Hello, Be Awesome listeners. This is episode 49. These things are coming fast and furious. I'm putting them out as quickly as I can with great local folks in my hometown, mostly other than Santa Claus that graced us 2 days ago from North Pole, Alaska. I just thought it'd be great to take a blast from the past, my first guest ever. Today, I'm really excited to have with us the director for the Easton Chamber of Commerce. This is the group that really I got involved with just a couple of months ago and became a member. But this is a great group. It's a nonprofit group. And Karin Newman is here with me. And we're going to talk about the Easton Chamber of Commerce, what they do, some of the things that they provide. And Karin's going to also share with us some things that small businesses in town or anywhere should be looking at for whether it's a loan or support or what have you. So Karin, first and foremost, thanks for giving us some time here today. Short notice grab. Appreciate you coming on here for a few minutes with me.
Well, Josh, I want to thank you for inviting me on. I feel very blessed that our paths crossed. You became a member of the Easton Chamber after you very generously agreed to be our speaker at our business appreciation dinner. And I feel people cross paths for a lot of reasons, but you've brought a lot to the chamber, and we're really happy that you invited us to come on and speak a little bit today.
Well, I appreciate it, and I got to tell you, what a 50 or so days it's been since that, or less than 50 days, 40 days since we were all together. 150 plus people recognizing some really incredible individuals in the town, and here we are today with most of these companies, closing or having to lay people off. This has really been unprecedented. Isn't even, we need a stronger word than that for what's going on. But what's really I'm finding is the need for people to stick together more than ever. And I think that my opinion of the chamber is that's what I've seen. That's what I experienced in January. Tell everybody. I mean, I have to say, until I was asked to speak in January with you guys, and I was a member in the late 90s, early 2000s. I think I told you, my dad prominently put the sticker on our trucks and things that we were a member, but didn't really take advantage of being a member was. Tell us a little bit about, tell us how you got to become where you are in the chamber, and a little bit about the Easton Chamber of Commerce itself.
Okay, so I, in the past, have been working a few different positions, and the latest couple were I was working at the Easton Country Club in their events department, helping out behind the scenes, and I was also working for Isabel Wilson with her realty company as her administrator. And when Carrie Nichols, who had been the chamber program director for 15 years, resigned, my name was thrown out in the loop as someone that they thought might be good for the position. And I feel like it's a natural fit for me. I feel that one of the things I do best is connect people. And I'm in a position now where there's a lot of networking with the chamber. And I feel that's probably one of the strongest things people get out of it. There's a lot of connections. We provide opportunities for people to make new business contacts and get referrals from people. And I think, to me, that's one of the strongest things we do. We also help to try to save small businesses money. There are some opportunities to get some member-to-member discounts. There's opportunities for you to get a discount on your health insurance. There's a lot of kind of free marketing, I would say, too. Like, we'll spread information about what the businesses are doing in the community and, promote them within the chamber and just within the community itself. There's some business resources, too, which especially now are going to really come in handy. And if you go to, I don't want everyone to have to memorize everything I'm saying, but if you go to our website, www.easton-chamber.com, there's a section across the top that says business resources. And there's a lot of stuff there that is helpful, especially in this time. Some government websites for the small business loans. In addition, there's some information about labor laws, Better Business Bureau, and things like that. So I think that's the first stop people should look at if they want to get some information. And I'll also try to go into a little more detail about some of the other things that some of our members are doing to support each other. The weeks and the months ahead of us are certainly uncertain times for business owners, for our chamber members, and the local community and beyond. But we do want you to know that we are here for you as a resource. I am working remotely right now. I'm working part-time, but I put my personal cell phone number on the recording at the chamber. I also have my email address on the website, and feel free to reach out, and I'll try to help you get whatever resource you need at this time. I do believe that everyone's coming together right now and working to support each other. I apologize. I'm working in my husband's office, and I thought he turned that on.
That sounds like a old school corded rotary dial phone ringer. That is fantastic.
It's actually his laptop, but he must have picked that, so I apologize. But our community is supporting each other, and right now we have to be courageous, be generous, be resilient, and try to make a difference. And there's a lot of our members right now, and I know I'm not going to hit everybody because there are so many people doing great things, but I do want to point out some people who have shifted their business and are working through this and helping the community and, really saving their business at this time. The Children's Museum of Easton is posting every day on Facebook to try to support families, a daily project with things that they can make something with things they have around their house. Mm-hmm. Audio video intelligence is still working with people setting up home offices and Zoom conferences and helping people who weren't working remotely do that now. Mm-hmm. Hilliard's is still, chocolate is probably just as essential as some of the other items that we need, but they're still doing curbside pickup. You can order things, especially, for them, Easter's right around the corner. That's one of their biggest holidays. So they're doing what they can to keep their business going. Shoveltown Brewery is canning their beer and selling that. I went by last Saturday and picked up some, and it was good to see a lot of people supporting them.
Are they still making pizza in the parking lot? I think I saw something where they were making pizzas in the parking lot too, weren't they?
So they were, and I'm not sure if that was just that weekend. When I went by, I believe it was last Thursday to pick up the beer, they weren't doing it, so I'm not sure. I try to follow on Facebook and share when I see someone's doing something. Yeah. And they could be, but I haven't seen the pizza.
I just thought that was kind of a cool thing that they were doing. I did see that they're canning for curbside pickup. I got to get over there and get some. I've been talking about going there since the business appreciation night. Sorry, continue.
And I don't believe that they did the online ordering before, but they are doing it now, which is great. Mm-hmm. Fernandes Lumber, I called this morning and ordered my fertilizer. I showed up. I popped my trunk. They popped it in. Curbside pickup, no touch. Still getting stuff you need. They have a lot of supplies there, paints and cleaning supplies, although I will say today there was no paper towels or Lysol products, but that seems to be the norm. Oh, yeah. Connor's Chiropractic is still open. Dr. Mary is still treating patients because it's considered essential, the benefits of chiropractic on the immunity and health. Hammer and Stain, I'm so proud of Janet Lind. She tried to stay open with curbside and then wasn't able to continue that. So she's now doing deliveries of projects people can do at home with their kids, which is fabulous. Chris Ventresco, who's a board member, he's with Starlight Photography. He's working on trying to do some photos of seniors and that maybe didn't get to finish their sports careers. Mm-hmm. The YMCA has an app, their own virtual app where you can do free exercises. The Ames Library has all kinds of free stuff you can download. And Cheryl Morse at EBPI is answering a lot of questions about accounting questions and that type of thing, which sort of leads me into what we were going to talk about is there is some stuff that is available to help businesses right now. It's certainly a trying time, but certainly it's not a time to give up. So the government passed the CARES Act, which was the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act. And there's several things there that can help small businesses. There's some free counseling and training, which I think is a first stop for everybody. And again, on our website, www.easton-chamber.com, there's a link under resources for SCORE, C-O-R-E, and they provide free confidential business advice. And I think that's a first stop for everybody because this information changes daily. And there's just different, everyone has their own, what they need help with for their business. So I think that's a great first stop to get some counseling. There are some loans. There's two different types of loans that I'm seeing. There's the PPP loan, which the Paycheck Protection Program. That loan is allowing people to continue to pay their employees. And the part about that loan, which I find the most interesting, is that there's the opportunity that you may not have to pay it back. But that being said, I would call whoever you use for your bank, and I would go through the loan officer there because they're going to be able to answer you the specifics about how that works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen a couple of things that there are some details to that you definitely want to get with your bank provider.
Yeah. Right. And again, that's going to really depend on your individual business, whether you qualify for that not having to pay back part. Mm-hmm. There's also other small business loans, the economic injury disaster loan, and there's emergency economic injury grants. So those really, again, I think the best place to look for those is on the www.sba.gov. And that kind of gives a summary. But I do encourage everybody to look into what they could take out for a loan. And most people will be getting some money from the government. They'll be getting some, a direct payment that will help out in the short term. Mm-hmm. There are some eligible loans with really generous terms and pretty low interest rates. Also, if you are unemployed, there are more benefits for the unemployed right now, larger checks and longer times that they'll pay you. Mm-hmm. And also, as a last resort, you could take out money without being penalized from your retirement fund. But again, I'd say that's kind of a last resort because, again, you will pay taxes on the money, mm-hmm. but, you won't be penalized like you normally would.
Got it. Is there a time frame on that one? Because I hadn't heard about the retirement. That's like your 401ks or your not your Roth IRAs because that's already taxed. I actually didn't know anything about that. So what's the details on that?
Well, I just saw that there's no penalty, mm-hmm. But it says that you can't recontribute for 3 years.
Oh wow.
So. Yeah, which I think it's usually longer than that when you take out money. Mm-hmm. But again, like those things, I would definitely either contact your financial advisor because I'm not an expert on this stuff. There's a lot of information that I'm finding the resources, mm-hmm. but for each specific person, there are going to be consequences that are different. So I just want everyone to do their due diligence and call the right people. Mm-hmm. But your local bank and your financial advisor, if you don't have one, this is a great time to get one. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them are putting information on their websites as well.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
But there is a positive to this, that there is some relief, and I think communication is key. If you're a business and you communicate with your customers and let them know what's going on, or if you're someone who needs to communicate something about it. Any of our members that post something, I try to share it and get the information out. Mm-hmm. If you reach out to me and you need some more specific guidance on who to call as a resource, I'm happy to help you. I just think right now we all have to kind of work together and stay alert for new opportunities. There's some people in this town who are really, making a good job of finding new opportunities, new ways to serve people. And we're all being challenged right now.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. And I think I shared with the group in January where I said, rising tide floats all ships, and the importance of camaraderie and coming together with a group like the Chamber. Tell us a little bit about how, I know that you are just absolutely crushing it with, having a strong membership, but I know that there's businesses in town that aren't members yet, that are possibly listening to this. So how does one become a member? What's the cost? What do they get? What's included? All the bits and the bytes to that.
Okay. So yeah, anyone who works in Easton, has a business in Easton, is welcome to join. If your business is not in Easton, but you live in Easton, you're still allowed to join the Chamber. It's a $230 membership fee for the year, and we do that prorated. So if you were to join now, you wouldn't pay for the full year. You'd only pay for, 3/4.
Mm-hmm.
Included in that membership, you get 2 tickets to our annual dinner, which you referred to earlier. We had 162 attendees, which is the most we've ever had. It's a nice feel-good night where we honor people in the community who have done outstanding service to us.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a really beautiful night, and you spoke, and our scholarship winner and Jason Bourne spoke, and it was just, I thought, a great night. And like you said, I can't believe that was just a few short months ago.
Mm-hmm.
We also do events like lunches, breakfast. We just did a breakfast with Nora Youssef of RBC Wealth Management. We do after hours. So if you're interested in being a member, either email me, call me. I've been reaching out. I think, if you're an Easton business and you're not in the Chamber, we'd love to have you. We have about 150 active members right now. And when I say active, not everyone is the same level of active, but for you, it might be coming to 3 or 4 things a year. For some people, it's just, I like the newsletters and I like to make connections. But we're all good about referring people to each other and sticking together and supporting each other. And it shows right now, and I'd love to have more members join us.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. I think that you just kind of just sharing the number of businesses in that quick couple of minutes, and there's many other members that are doing amazing things. Those just came to you, came top of mind.
Right.
The Children's Museum, I just saw the first video today. I think that's fantastic what they're doing.
And they're doing that every day.
Yeah, and I was following the Hammer and Stain, which I thought was really great. They seem to always be innovating and creating. They were doing the bring your own, you could buy your own kit and bring it home and do it. A couple months ago, Amy actually did it for Christmas. I think it was around Christmas time, where it was like kind of a partially done, and you finished the whole thing and kind of customized it, which I think is a great idea. I think that the reality of one of the things that you said is everything's changing every day. You mentioned the Ames Free Library. They went from business as usual to providing books out the window, and then they had to close. And so now they've now retooled and revised. And I think that's the important message that I'm trying to share with people is to constantly, we should always be constantly retooling. I think that, one of the things that we'll get out of this is many of us were probably in a form of complacency. A lot of you mentioned Shoveltown Brewery doing online ordering. Many businesses didn't do that before because they didn't need to, because they were plenty busy, but it's a great tool to be more efficient and to be getting potentially more orders. And they're canning now. I don't know if they were canning before. I know you used to be able to go and get, growlers filled up. But yeah, that could be a new revenue stream for them in the future when our new normal comes around and the dust settles. So I'm seeing a lot of really, while difficult, while challenging, while taxing, while costing people their reserves and things, I'm seeing a lot of good outcome on this that shows the resilience of not just our community but our country. But I'm trying to showcase as much as our community. I'm gonna have Darcy on this week from the Y, and I see a lot of the good stuff that they're doing. But I think that the takeaway here is that the Easton Chamber is doing some great things, great resources. You're not alone. Even if you're not a chamber member, I would say reach out to Karin and learn more, because I think by the time you're done talking, you're going to want to become a member. And you can do the membership online too, I think, can't you? I think I did.
Yeah,
I
you can go right on. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can go right online and register. And actually, more things are popping into my head. But yesterday I called up Trisha Peterson from Paperback Junction, one of our members, and I was like, Trisha, how are you doing? And because poor Trisha had to go through a move and all this stuff. And she said, I'm doing okay. She said, I'm getting a lot of support. Trisha's one of those people, whenever there's anything going on in the community, if you ask her for a gift certificate to donate or anything, she's the first one to do it. And she's feeling the love back. I mean, she has set up now, people can order their books and they can go over and pick it up curbside. And then I realized she was in with my favorite dry cleaner at Lapel, and I called, and he's making masks at the moment. But I said, can I buy a gift card or do something to help you through right now? And he said, no. He said, so many people have asked me that. He said, but don't worry. He said, I know how much you guys love me. And, it made me feel good that people are supporting all these small businesses that throughout the year we count on all the time. They support our kids, athletics. They support the music program. They support every fundraiser that we have. And I think people are staying loyal to them, and we're all coming through this together, and we're trying to work together and help each other.
Yeah. 100%.
And I see that as a huge positive, and I'm very proud of everyone in the community that's doing that, that's, helping each other. And, even some of our, people that aren't members right now, but, Neil over at McGuire's, I mean, he's killing it. I heard him on your show the other day in the Union Villa doing the pizza. Everyone's thinking outside the box and doing what they can to push forward.
I got to tell you, you hit one, and I was so glad to see her in January, Mrs. Peterson at Paperback Junction. She, hands down, is one of the most upbeat, optimistic, happiest people. I've gone into her store. I haven't gone in a number of years, basically because I don't think I've had a chance to actually read a book. They all come on audio file now because of the birth of our latest child. But she weathered the Barnes and Noble era, and the what was the other one? Borders bookstores, when those big brick and mortar stores of bookstores came, and Amazon when they just sold books. She's weathered so many storms with her bookstore, and it's entirely because of who she is as a person. Her smile when you walk in. I've never gone in there with the intention of buying any particular book, and she would always point me in the right direction of something that I always loved. So it's all about the people, absolutely. And the Lapel story, I mean, you're hearing countless stories of people that are putting their livelihoods on hold to do things like make masks and do things that are helping those frontline workers that are so desperate in need of supplies to keep them healthy. So no, that's great stuff. Well, I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to put all the resources on the podcast page. I will put it on my social media pages, as well as how people can get a hold of you. Keep doing what you're doing. I really appreciate everything. I've appreciated the last 4 or 5 months getting to know you and getting to know the chamber. I look forward to seeing it. Unfortunately, you guys had to cancel that Taste of Easton event, but I think that this is going to help build some additional ways to get together as a group, whether it's virtually or whether you start putting together some more of these specials and things. But I really see this thing making us all much stronger in the end. So
I agree, Josh. And just to let you know, I am working on something for the fall, something a little different, another fundraiser that, not as big as the Taste, but, we will come back with something, and we will sure get great support from the community. And while I have an extra second, I just want to put a plug for, not only was it the biggest fundraiser for the chamber, the Taste of Easton, but we always donated about $1,500 to the Easton Food Pantry. Mm-hmm. So I did a virtual fundraiser and went way out of my comfort zone and did a video. And so far, we have raised over $3,000 for the food pantry. And I'm still collecting until April 20th. So if anyone wants to donate, if they go to our website, on the first page, there's a link for them to donate to the food pantry. And right now, so many people are counting on the food pantry, more people than ever.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thrilled with the results of that. And a big thank you to the Easton Fire Department, the local chapter, because they reached out to me. Chris Mills reached out to me, and they had agreed to make a donation, and they added it to what we were putting, which was included in that $3,000. But they gave a very generous amount, and I'm so grateful to them.
Yeah, he's one of my closest friends, and a pretty awesome human. I'm going to have him on later this week as well. He's been doing his 24-hour shifts at the firehouse this week, so it's been tough to get a hold of him. Congratulations on that goal. I mean, that's amazing. And I hope that there's more that comes in. And you're absolutely right. The Easton Food Pantry is they're in the fight of a lifetime, because there are more people that need food in many cases than there is food.
Mm-hmm.
And they've always done. Ken Wood, I think, is one of the big folks that's been focused on that all these years, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So I know he's always out with the trailers at Roach Brothers and constantly trying to keep shelves loaded. But people are, I mean, look at people that can get stuff. You know, we can't find stuff on shelves at Target. I mean, you think about our community, and this is for people that don't live in Easton. You know, our community is 27 square miles, 27,000 residents. 50% of our property is conservation land, so it's pretty well spread out. And we have 3 grocery stores and a Target in our town. We've got a Big Y, a Shaw's, a Roach Brothers, and a massive Target with groceries. And you can go to all 4 of those on any given day right now and find empty shelves with no paper towels, no toilet paper, no meat, none of this stuff. So thinking about the Easton Food Pantry that's got to go to these places and get the food, or have people help out for people that can't afford to go to these places and get their own food. It's a struggle, and it's definitely real. So
right. And as a mom, it's a real concern. You know, when I couldn't find chicken breast for a week, it was like, oh my, how am I going to feed my family? You know, and we're very lucky. I mean, compared to when people went through this 100 years ago, you know, we're in warm houses. We have computers that we can, you know, still continue to do some work and those type of things. Mm-hmm. But, you know, it's still, you want to be able to meet the basic needs of your family. And it's a little unnerving when you see shelves full of grocery stores with empty shelves. I mean, we're not used to that. We're used to, you know, things being right there when we need it.
Psychologically, that plays a real challenge. You know, when you go to BJ's or Costco or any of these big box, big volume stores, and they don't have anything for you to grab, that's you know, it definitely does a little bit of worrisome. And you know, if you had a basement filled with rainy day food to prepare for this stuff, most of it's probably expired, because we haven't had to do any of this stuff for 100+ years. So
right. Even if we have a bad snowstorm, it's like 1 or 2 days, maybe you don't get to the store, but we really haven't even had to have that.
Yep. 100%. So I really appreciate your time here, Karin. I think this is all great stuff. I strongly encourage. I didn't have to join to speak to your group. I wanted to join because when I looked into it, I just said, you guys are just doing some great things, supporting local businesses. And I'm proud to be an Easton Chamber member. I strongly suggest anybody listening that isn't a member, become one. Because again, a rising tide floats all ships, and we can all come together, work together to come out of this stronger. Be sure to go on the homepage. You don't need to be a business owner. Go to the homepage on the link that I'm going to share to you right at the top. It says click here to donate and help the Chamber's efforts to well surpass the $3,000 it's already raised to help the Easton Food Pantry. And if you have any questions, all of Karin's contact information is going to be on the website. Karin, keep doing what you're doing. Really appreciate you giving us the time. And she was out of her comfort zone to do that video on Facebook. So if you want to see Karin on Facebook, you're gonna have to go. If you want to see video of Karin, you have to go on Facebook and see her request for birthday request for donations, and then I would say you'd have to make a donation watching her out of her comfort zone. But appreciate you giving us the time here. Keep doing what you're doing, and in the meantime, um, this is an everyday change. This is getting the worst is yet to come, according to what all uh, these hills and valleys and dips and streams and curves and flattens and all the words and stuff that I'm not a doctor, nor do I want to play one on TV right now. Um, we're in for the fight of a lifetime, and that's important for everybody to stick together and try to stay as positive as possible, as positive as Karin is with all this stuff going on. Create, innovate, forge ahead, and we'll take this headwind together. And I look forward. I got a couple more great guests this week coming up. So in the meantime, appreciate any ratings, reviews, comments, questions. You can send them to josh@beawesome.com. That's JOSH at BEAUSM.com. You can do ratings and reviews on any podcast platform. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is one of those things that, a year ago, I didn't care if I knew who listened, how they listened, or what, they were doing for ratings and reviews. But all those facts and figures actually play into an opportunity to make this a revenue generating effort down the road, which I think is something we all need to look at as different ways to earn our keep. So, Karin, thank you so much. Have a great day. The rest of the great day that you can have here, and we'll make sure that everybody's reaching out to you the way that they need to. And in the meantime, if you can be anything, be awesome.